Did you know that the great white shark, the so-called monster of the oceans, is far stranger, more mysterious, and in some ways more fragile than Hollywood ever wanted you to believe? Imagine an animal that has survived for millions of years, seen continents shift, and yet still carries secrets we have barely begun to uncover. I was shocked to learn that the greatest predator of the seas is also one of the most misunderstood creatures on Earth. Let's dive deep into the strange, thrilling, and sometimes unbelievable reality of the great white shark. And I promise, what you'll hear today is not the dry repetition of sharks have big teeth and eat seals. No, this is the side of the white shark that will make you say, "No way, I had no idea." The great white shark Carcharodon carcharias has been called many names: sea wolf, man-eater, death's shadow, but the reality is far more nuanced. Yes, they are apex predators, but they are also engineers of the ocean's balance, keepers of health in marine ecosystems. Without them, fish populations would collapse, seals would overpopulate, and entire ecosystems could tip into chaos. In the words of the philosopher Heraclitus, the hidden harmony is better than the obvious. The great white shark is that hidden harmony. Here's a mind-bending fact. Scientists have found that great white sharks can detect a single drop of blood in 25 gallons of water, but what's more shocking is how selective they are. They are not mindless eating machines. They choose what to hunt when to hunt, and often they reject potential prey. Picture this. A shark swims past a dying fish, ignores it, and waits for the healthier one. Why? Because in choosing the stronger prey, they actually strengthen the gene pool of marine life. It's like natural selection carried out with teeth. You might think you know their size, about 6 meters long, the documentaries say, but here's the kicker. There have been unconfirmed reports of white sharks over 7 meters, possibly 8. That's longer than a bus. Imagine meeting such a creature face to face in the deep blue, realizing that you are the smaller, slower, and far less ancient species. It humbles you. But let's twist the story. Did you know that great white sharks have siblings who kill each other before they are even born? Inside the womb, the stronger embryos eat the weaker ones. Scientists call it intrauterine cannibalism. I call it the original Hunger Games. When you hear that, you realize these sharks are forged in violence long before they ever taste the ocean. Here's another curveball. Great white sharks can regulate their body temperature. They are partially warm-blooded, unlike most fish. This makes them fast, powerful hunters in cold waters where other predators can't survive. Think of it as having a built-in turbocharger. No wonder they rule coastlines from South Africa to California. But it gets weirder. Recent tracking studies reveal that great whites migrate thousands of kilometers across open oceans. One shark tagged in South Africa was tracked swimming all the way to Australia and back. Another swam through what researchers now call the Great White Cafe, a mysterious patch of the Pacific Ocean where hundreds of sharks gather for reasons still unknown. No prey, no seals, no obvious food source, just sharks circling. Some scientists speculate it's a mating ground, others believe it's a deep-sea hunting school. Either way, it's one of the strangest shark mysteries we've uncovered. Albert Einstein once said, "The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious." And what could be more mysterious than the ocean's most feared predator holding secret meetings in the middle of nowhere? Now let's talk about their bite. The bite force of a great white is about 1.8 tons. To put that in perspective, it's like dropping a small car onto whatever it bites. And this is key, they rarely waste that power. White sharks are careful hunters. They often bite once, then wait, letting their prey bleed out. Brutal, yes. Efficient, absolutely. They know that a single mistake could injure them, and an injured shark in the wild is a dead shark. In their silence, they embody the old words of Sun Tzu. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Still, the greatest shock is this: great white sharks are disappearing. Population studies suggest their numbers have declined by 50% in the last few decades. Overfishing, fin trade, habitat loss, all of this has turned the ocean's ruler into an endangered species. Imagine a world without white sharks. It would not be safer, it would be broken. The balance would collapse, just as if lions vanished from the savannah. And here's something that hit me personally. Sharks don't get cancer the way we do. Their biology seems to resist tumor growth, and scientists are desperately trying to unlock the genetic secrets behind it. In other words, the great white shark might one day save human lives, not by killing us, but by teaching us how to fight disease. Isn't it ironic? The animal we fear the most could hold the cure we need the most. Mark Twain once joked, "Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities truth is." The great white shark is living proof. Stranger than fiction, harder than steel, yet threatened by the most fragile predator of all us. So the next time you see a sensational headline about a shark attack, remember this: you are entering their home, not the other way around. And the great white doesn't see you as a meal. In fact, most bites are cases of mistaken identity. They think you're a seal. Once they realize you're not, they often let go. Imagine being bitten by a car, and then the car apologizes and drives away. That's the shark for you. We began with fear. We end with awe. The great white shark is not a villain, but a survivor, a teacher, a warning. Respect it, protect it, and maybe we'll keep this living fossil alive for generations to come. And hey, if this blew your mind even half as much as it blew mine, please subscribe, hit that like button, and share this video with someone who still thinks sharks are just monsters. Let's replace fear with knowledge, because knowledge is always the sharper weapon.